Tim's workshop. Out here in the workshop, gonna do a video on where I'm at on this Volkswagen 1965 1200 40 horse, and what I've been doing is cleaning everything, all the rod, head bolts, the push rods, they're all cleaned up, and I still have more of these rods, so they're cleaning up pretty good. I'm gonna hit them with brake clean though right before I get ready to install them. Put the Loctite on, but I'm going to test out the head bolts, making sure they all will go in and torque. So I'm going to have to put the sleeves on and the cylinder heads, take everything back off. This is the biggest part that took me a long time to clean. All the washers and nuts, the end cap, everything. I got it all cleaned up. Wire wheel. A lot of this hardware I'm going to be reusing. This hardware should still work unless it's like completely screwed up. It should work. You just got to make sure you use the right sealant to keep it from leaking. That's the main thing. You don't want the thing to leak. Hey, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, leave comments, hit the notification bell if you like. Give me a like, hit the old hand thing, and let your friends and family, and your doggies too, know about Tim's Workshop on my YouTube. Let's get going on the update for this VW engine. And I ordered parts from California. I got the clips, you know, to hold the lifters in. And I got new bearings. These are the Conrod bearings. Got a set of those. Standard. Everything I bought was standard size, so by my measurements it looks like we'll be okay with the standard size. We'll find out how it runs. If it vibrates, we might have another issue. But either way, these things don't cost that much, so it's you're not losing money, not much anyway. Here is the pulley bearing. Okay, this is the two-part main bearing. There's one of the main ones. Okay, and like they said, you got to test this fit in there and check the oil groove. Might have to grind a little bit on these to get the oil flowing better. There's videos on that. And this is the last bearing. This is the thrust bearing. Same thing there, you know, just make sure the oil's flowing right on it before you put it all together. The last thing I got, new lifters, okay? The reason being these lifters, when they start to get worn, these lifters are supposed to have just a little bit of a curve on the top, okay? So when you take one to another one, and you put them together like this, they will rock. And these rock against each other. That's what you want. When I tried that with the old ones, I might as well show you. Okay, they're flat. They're actually, there is no ridge on these at all. They're just completely flat. So they're worn out. So that's how you can tell. And these lifters are standard as well, but it also says lightweight racing lifter set. Okay, it says racing, so it must be extra good for racing. I don't know. All I know is that's what I got. They're exactly the same size. Now I don't know what the difference is between non-racing and racing is. They look identical to me. So we'll put that back away. Keep these in the little plastic covers to keep them from scratching up until I'm ready for them. As you see, I have my drill motor set up, and that's how I've been cleaning all these, you know. This is a brass brush, so they don't hurt anything. I even did the tubes, although they look brown, but like I say, I'm going to hit them with brake clean before I use them. The insides of these need to be pipe cleaner running inside and out, so those aren't really totally cleaned up yet. Not good enough to reuse. They don't have any holes or cracks or anything like that, so they're not going to leak. If they leak, then I could always, you know, replace them later, but I just want to get the thing running and see where we're at. If it runs, then I'll worry about other stuff, you know, like painting and all that. So Brasso is a metal cleaner. So the crank that I got down here on the floor, right? What you do is this yellow rag that I have the stuff laying on over here, Brasso on each one of these mains, and then use that, wrap it around, and use it to polish the crank. So that's what we're going to use. We're going to use it on polishing some of the other stuff too. This pile over here, it all needs to be cleaned up, and I'm going to use Super Clean on it. Let it soak with Super Clean, and then use a scrub brush, and some of this I'm going to hit with Brake Clean. When all else fails, works really well on that. I want to give a shout out to CT's Garage, his latest video this morning. Guys, check it out. He's using a laser to clean rust off, but it also takes everything off. I mean, you know, I don't know about engine parts, but for, you know, metal work on frames and stuff like that, it works really, really good. Takes paint and everything down to the metal, grease too. It just takes it all off. Like CT points out, on thinner metal, sheet metal, like body work or something like that, he's going to do some more testing on it to see if that, well, he probably did on the video. I just hadn't watched the whole video yet, but he's testing it to see if it causes warpage, right? So, but it does, the laser has different settings, so you can set it on a lower setting and might not have that issue. You definitely probably don't want to set it up all the way. The laser puts out heat, so yeah, the material you're taking the rust off does get up in the about 140, 150 degrees, so a little hot to touch, you know, so you got to be aware of that. That's where we're at on this. I just got to get everything, the rest of it cleaned up, and the next step is start to put everything back together. Oh, I'm going to hook this up, put it in a tank of oil. Run the oil through the oil ports on the engine. Make sure all the oil ports are not restricted. Make sure the oil flows through there. Make sure I get all that done before I put this thing back together and clean it. I got the right flywheel for the 40 horse. I'll show you the difference here. This is 109 tooth, right? Which is 6 volt. 12 volt has more teeth, like 130 or something like that. The pin size for the crank end, for the pins that are on the crank, are 8 millimeter. The other flywheel that I got, which I'm going to take back to him because I don't need it, it's also a 6 volt. This is for a 36 horsepower Volkswagen motor, not 40. And the difference being is the distance between here and here and the depth is different than on the 40 horse. The 40 horse is wider, and the holes on the 36 horse, they're 6 millimeter holes, okay? So they're way too small. He wants it back though. He has a 1958 Volkswagen Oval. He still has the original engine that he's going to rebuild. So I'm going to take it back to him. If I'd known that, I would have taken it when I went up to get the one that I needed. So yeah, you can see the difference here. It's deeper. It also has a groove in it for an O-ring. I don't know if I can get the O-ring out of here. Let's see. Yep. There we go. So there's the O-ring. It just kind of broke in half. Yeah, I got to get another O-ring for this. This is it. I haven't counted the teeth on it yet. I'm assuming that it's the same amount of teeth. Let's see here. Put them back to back here. Yeah, this is right. Same amount of teeth. So it's a 6 volt. So yeah, the engagement, if you're even if the diameter was the right diameter, the crank wouldn't be far enough into this, and this thing would come off probably. It wouldn't be a good deal. So that's why they purposely made it deeper. They put an O-ring on it to keep it from leaking. Although you have the seal as well. And it looks in good shape, just dirty. It needs to be cleaned up. So until next time, we'll see you.